Hey everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great evening. Sorry I can't be there tonight because my partner is speaking at Coventry. So I'm supporting him, it's his first gig, so I hope it's going well. So my name is Manjinder Sidhu and I'm a human rights spiritual activist. I'm currently just editing and finalising my book called Bollywood Gay, which is a self-help book, and it's releasing next month, so go on and buy it. Basically, I am currently working for the LGBT South Asian movement both in the UK and India and abroad. I am helping South Asian LGBT through life coaching and spiritual counselling, and trying to allow them to have the best coming out story that they can have. I make YouTube videos and I have blogs and I do activism everywhere. Even my parents, one video with my mother called My Punjabi Mum was viral and famous everywhere. Even my dad comes on Indian TV channels with me. So it wasn't always like this, and I want to explain to you how I got there. I grew up in quite a traditional conservative Indian home where neither of my parents spoke any English. There was a lot of arguments and fighting constantly, and I was scared for myself or my life as well, that if I came out, how would I be treated, and would I be disowned, forced to marry a woman, or anything worse would happen to me. So coming from a Sikh background, I was quite religious growing up. I used to do peace prayers, I used to try to bring harmony in my home, and I was very connected to my religion. But as soon as I found out I was gay at the age of about 11, things started to go really awkward for me, and I started distancing myself from my religion, because even though Sikhism doesn't talk about homosexuality whatsoever, it's mute. It does say in the Code of Conduct, which was written by male middle-class philosophers in the 19th century, that marriage is between a man and a woman. And in my community, I would only see the evidence for that. So there was no homosexuals or anyone from the LGBT community. So I felt very isolated and alone when I figured this out. And for 2 years, from the age of 11 till 13, I tried to make myself straight and try to reprogram my mind. At the age of 13, I realised that this was not going to be happening, and I distanced myself from doing my prayers. And I accepted who I was, and I wasn't going to ruin the life of another woman by marrying her. So I decided that I would focus on my education, get an amazing degree, and then be self-supporting and financing, therefore I could live the life I wanted. And also to basically tell my parents later perhaps. So I moved to London to study at UCL, and I lived there for a couple of years, do my first degree, and after that I moved abroad. So I was constantly moving away and trying to kind of run away from my parents because of the shame that I felt. And I lived in Berlin, I lived in the Middle East and Israel, and I also lived in Asia and India doing human rights related work. And as I lived abroad, the sinking feeling started emerging about who I was. Because at university, if people would ask me, have you come out to your parents, I would just say that I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to think about it, because I would block myself from that. I'd go out, I'd have fun, I would study really hard and not focus on that aspect of my life. And I was out at university, but prior to that, only 1 or 2 friends knew. Once my sister found out, my eldest sister, she was very shocked as well, and she did not want to cause any more problems in our house by me telling my parents, so she told me to keep it quiet and locked in. So I was living abroad and I got quite depressed in Berlin, and loads of things started going through my mind, and I became quite suicidal and depressed. So I had a lot of mental health issues, and at that same time I came back and did my Masters in Human Rights at UCL, and I managed, every day I'd wake up feeling, you know, suicidal, but I still managed to get a good Master's degree and finish that. I lived abroad, I worked for the UN in the Middle East, and prior to that, someone gave me this book when I worked at a homeless organisation called The Secret, and now this is based upon the law of attraction, positive principles. So from that I learned that basically through the power of your mind you manifest your current reality. So I started telling everyone I met when I was living in the Middle East, in Israel, that basically my parents know who I am, accept me and love me the way I am. And I actually started to believe that and feel that. And at the same time, I started getting into meditation at that time as well. I had already been doing yoga every day at university, so I got more and more into my spiritual side and my positive side to drag myself out of the depression that I was still lingering in. I would basically do meditation every day, do yoga, go on retreats, and try to help myself be at a happier place. I also was very depressed and sad because I could not get into a relationship. Now, I think not having a relationship was one of the biggest reasons why I came out, actually, because I read on blogs online that, you know, if you're not out, then it's harder for you to connect with someone of this in a romantic setting. So I went about the task of telling my parents via SMS. I SMS'd them from Israel and wrote it in English, and my poor sister had to translate it for them. And she told them that I was gay, and they accepted me. They were fine. They were actually very relieved because they thought I had been distancing myself from them all these years because I hated them. So the law of attraction, mental stuff, visualizations all worked amazingly. And as soon as I came back, I started telling everyone, you know, that, you know, this stuff works and you should try it out. My parents took me to the local Sikh temple, and they were very accepting and supportive of my sexuality, as was the local Sikh doctor, and I wasn't taken anywhere else to, you know, be changed. So I count myself fortunate and lucky. However, I do believe that a lot of it was to do with my own mental thinking, removing the guilt and the shame, accepting myself, and really embracing and thinking others would embrace me too. It's with that premise I've started to do the work that I do, the activism with Stonewall, Barnardo's, and all sorts of organisations in India too, LGBT, and the reason why I've written this book called Bollywood Gay. I help a lot of people online and also face-to-face, do workshops, yoga retreats, meditation, conducting with different people. We're doing retreats for LGBT to help them have the self-compassion, come out and have the amazing life that they've always wanted. So there are success stories. Even my own partner, who's Pakistani white mix, from Muslim background, was made homeless, but through interacting with myself and working mentally, we've managed to get him back home, and he's accepted and loved, and everything's going really, really well. So my book is quite powerful, and it is out next month, and I would suggest and urge you to all read it because it's an amazing read. And that's all I had to say, really. Currently I see myself as being someone who's spiritual, who embodies all religions and all faiths, but from a perspective where you choose your own way of doing things and your own values. You can find more out about me on myspiritualsoul.com, and all my video blogs and information's there and what I do. And I wish you all the best, and I hope you're having a great event, and I hope everything works out for you. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.